Hi guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be using this Granoro pizza flour. It's a single zero flour, so it's slightly coarser grain, but look at what it produced. Looks pretty good. Look at that crust. That looks absolutely fantastic. Now it's got a W rating of 250 and its protein is 11%. And we got this flour from the ration pantry. The links are in the description from where we got this one from. So let's get down to the business. Let's get on with the recipe. So 660 grams of water, just making sure that's nice and lukewarm, just warm enough for the 1 gram of yeast that we're going to add in there. And then we're going to mix those together. And we're just making sure that instant yeast is thoroughly mixed in so that we don't have any lumps in there. So in with the Granoro pizza flour, and we need to then mix all that together, gradually adding in the flour. So just making sure that I've got my camera ready there, just leaning back and making sure we're all in shot, which we are, which is great. And just going to add in a little bit more of the flour. So every time I put in a little bit of flour, it's normally around about just under a quarter of a bag each time, and that just makes sure that when we're putting it in gradually, that we're not going to make a big of a mess, and that we're going to make sure that the flour is well hydrated in that water and yeast mix. So just adding some more in there. And I have to say, this flour was really nice to work with in terms of it working as in a dough. Really took that hydration really nicely. So you'll see a little bit later on. We had a little bit of sticking, but nothing too major. So would definitely recommend this one if you're new to trying pizza making yourself. So just mixing that around. And again, I've had a few questions in there saying about using a stand mixer. Yep, sure, you can use a stand mixer, normally halves the time, but we like to use our hands on this channel because I just think it's a little bit more fun, and I find it very therapeutic to use my hands. So just putting a little bit of flour onto the work surface there, because we're just about ready now. We can't mix that any further with the fork in the mixing bowl, so we're going to pour that dough mixture onto that bed of flour that we put there on the work surface. And we've got last little bit in the bag just to scrape out and get all that dough out of the bowl. As you've probably noticed from previous videos, flour is quite expensive, especially pizza flour, especially the imports that we get from Italy. So as Yorkshiremen, we like to make sure that we get our money's worth. So we need to mix and knead all that together for around about 10 minutes, and in between we're going to put the salt in a second. So on our videos we make sure that this is all narrowed down. It normally takes about 20 minutes to get all this part of the pizza making done, but we narrow it down into a nice 10-minute section with all the pizza cooking and everything. And just whilst I'm doing that as well, as always, thank you so much to everybody who's commented, asked questions, gone on our community pages. It really is appreciated by myself and Oliver. And if you haven't done so already, please take the time to subscribe, maybe like this video, leave a comment. We do try and comment, respond back to every single comment that we do get on our videos, because we're really just trying to build that home pizza making community up together. So obviously we're focusing on the home baking pizza maker, not so much the commercial stuff that you might have also seen on YouTube. So we're going to add in now 20 grams of salt, and we're just going to make sure that that's all nicely folded in, and we'll continue to mix and knead that all together. And again, if you've got the stand mixer and you want to do it that way, just gradually add the salt in when you start to see it making that looking a little bit like what you can see on the screen now. Now, on previous videos that we've done, sometimes we've left the dough to rest for 1 hour and then added the salt in later on. You can also do that as well. I've just been experimenting a little bit with my own personal technique. I've not really noticed much difference. The only thing that I have in the back of my head is the fact that if that yeast isn't working and you add the salt, then you'll not know that the yeast is not working if you don't let the dough have a rest for that hour. So we're just going to now form that dough mass into a nice ball, and we're going to put that in the bowl, and we're going to let that rest for 19 hours at room temperature. Here it is before. And here it is after 19 hours. So let's make some pizza balls. So off with the shower cap. Let's have a look what we've got underneath. And as you can see, it's stuck a little bit to the shower cap. One of the reasons for using the shower cap rather than cling film shrink wrap is that you can retrieve that dough off there without getting any plastic in there. So always handy for that. But you know, you might have a bowl that's got a lid on the top. They're just as good as well. So let's have a look inside. Let's do that bit of a strength test. And look, there's lots of structure in there. It's nice and strong. You can actually lift the bowl up by lifting that pizza dough up, and it looks like it's not tearing at all. So we know we've got plenty of gluten structure in there, which is great for pizza. So we're going to make 230 gram pizza balls. You'll get around about 7 out of that. You might have a little bit left at the end, but approximately you'll get 7 230 gram pizza balls, and that will give you some nice 10-inch pizzas. We like 10-inch pizzas. If 12 inches is yours, you just probably need to add another 40 grams or so of pizza dough into the balls. So we're just forming those dough balls up now and just giving them a rub in the semolina pizza flour as well. And that just helps stop them sticking when we put them into these tubs. These tubs are from Poundland in the UK. Find that they're easier to use. You can get those dough trays. You might have seen some of the pros having the dough trays. For me and home cook, I prefer something a little bit smaller and easy to store in a small house. But if you've got the room, go for the dough trays. So that's it. Put the lid on and there you go. So we're going to let these rest for 5 hours now. So pizza time is coming right up. So this is what we've all been waiting for, pizza time, everybody's favourite. So let's get that out of the tub. Comes out really, really nicely. So put it onto a bed of semolina flour, give it a bit of a rub round in there, and then with your tips of your fingers, as always, start to move out to form that nice crust. So with a bit of a steering wheel method, just put that around, wipe away the semolina flour, and then just forming that base to make it nice and round. So that looks brilliant. So using Mutti tomato sauce, our favourite, of course. I think you've probably heard that before on a couple of other videos. I've had quite a few of them and find this one the best, and a bit of a bargain actually. I picked it up for 60p a can from the Sainsbury's. We're having a bit of a clearance, but I think that was a very big one-off special. So we've just put on there some Parmigiano and some grated mozzarella, and now we're using the Sainsbury's pepperoni, a little bit of ham. You guess whose this is? Of course, it's Oliver's. He likes his ham cooked. He likes that Parma ham nice and crispy. So just on with a bit of fresh mozzarella. And that pizza is looking fabulous. So on to the peel, and of course, as always now, it's into the oven. Very cold when we film this, as you can see, very snowy. So 400 degrees is for the pizza oven, although it was probably about -4 outside when we were filming this. So it's a good job that the pizza oven is lovely and warm to gather around, and you can just start to hear that pizza toppings all crackling and snapping away. And always this part of doing this voiceover makes my mouth water. I know I say it every time, but it's the truth. So just warming the turning peel up there. Now one of the things that I probably did do here, probably left that turning just a little bit too late. It's probably just a little bit charred there, but some people like that char taste, some people don't. But you know, that's all about our pizza making journey, of course, on this channel. You know, we're not going to get it perfect every single time, so just giving that a bit of a turn, and it's looking good already, this pizza. And you know, you can just hear it in the background, and the cheese is now bubbling. The Gosney Rock Box, I have to say, is a great piece of kit, and we'll be doing a couple of videos on that later on. So let's get on to the chopping board, and let's have a look underneath. Yeah, there's a bit of a char there, but never mind. So let's have a listen. Yeah, bit more softer than crunchy. So as always, let's have a look inside. Let's cut that pizza up And let's have a look inside that crust. So that's what you saw earlier. So would I recommend Granoro? Definitely. If you're new to pizza making, get this bought. All that remains to say is thank you so much for watching, and bye for now.